Hi guys, I'm Hannah and I'd like to talk to you for about 2 to 3 minutes about this book, Mary Higgins Clark, Where Are the Children? I'm going to give you a basic sort of skeleton outline of the story without giving you any spoilers. So basically it all centres around a lady called Nancy. Nancy marries a guy called Carl. They have 2 children. Those 2 children that get kidnapped and killed. Carl then commits suicide because he's so depressed, it's such a hideous thing to happen. Nancy gets blamed for the murders. There's no evidence, all charges get dropped. Okay, that's not even the real storyline. So that happens. Then 4 years later is what this book is all centres around. 4 years later, she marries another guy called Ray. They then have 2 children and those children get kidnapped. And that's all I'm going to tell you about the storyline. I did quite like it. I feel like it had loads of twists and turns throughout it and loads of things that you wouldn't expect, but throughout the whole book. The female characters seem to be very stereotypical of this is what a woman is, this is how women feel, and the men are all very take charge. None of them are weak, none of them show any sort of weakness between the children going missing. They're all like, we're men, we can deal with this. My reasons why it's definitely not feminist friendly. His name's Jonathan. Him and Dorothy are both probably about 60s. His wife died and their relationship is a friendship, but it could sort of become something else. And I really liked his character. I thought he was really nice to Dorothy and everything. And then he said she, meaning Dorothy, had always struck him as a remarkably efficient, self-sufficient person, traits that he admired without finding them necessarily endearing in a woman. Which basically means he likes those sort of things in a man, not in a woman, because a woman should need like someone, you know, to prop her up and help her and stuff like that. So I didn't like him from that bit on, and that's like quite near the end, so I felt like I'd been a little bit like betrayed by Jonathan. And then he goes on to talk about his relationship with his wife who died, and he says, when Jonathan was honest with himself, he realised that the essential part of his relationship with Emily had been that his constant awareness of her need for him. So it's not because they were in love or anything like that, it's because she needed him. And what did she need him for? To find her car keys or balance her checking account or open a jar, because women can't do those things. Dorothy, I thought I was going to really like her. As soon as the children went missing, she was just like a complete wreck, sitting in the corner, huddled, just like, oh, I can't, my ovaries ache because the children are missing. Everybody else in the book who knew those children were fine. Ray, Nancy's husband, his kids, he was like, we've got to find the children. The man who lived down the road, Jonathan, who writes true crimes, so he would be absolutely shocked to find out that Nancy was a criminal who he'd been friends with a criminal all this time, which would have been such a shock. He managed to go, right, we've got to do this. There were police men, not one police woman, and there was a lawyer and a doctor, both men. So all the women in here, 2 of them were complete wrecks. The other 2 women that were in the book, well, they had suspicions that they knew where the children were, or didn't know where the children were, but had a sort of suspicion about one of the men that lived in the neighbourhood, sort of thinking, has he done it? Like, he seems really odd today and he's done something really odd. So I don't want to give you spoilers, but he'd done something odd that you would report to the police, and you would say, you know, police say give any information, no matter how small it is, you would report it to the police. So these women tell their husbands, and their husbands say, I don't want you wasting police time. So if you're looking for a book that's like equal men and women, it's not. It's very old-fashioned written, and it's not even that like older book. I think it came out in 1992. So my roundup review of this is that there is a thriller at every turn that you would not expect. It's fantastic for that. The women characters in it are very stereotypical of women, you know, a housewife, or as soon as a child goes missing, we can't think of anything else because we're women and we're weak, and the men have to take charge. So for that, it's sort of like a few points down because it's not really equal, and there's no police women, only police men. So it's very official written like that. But if you ignore that, then it's a really great thriller, different twists and different turns, and yeah, it's an enjoyable read. I'm Hannah Reads, and I hope you have a great day.